So today's topic is 1.7 inverse functions. And so inverse functions are basically written as f to the negative 1 power of x. So this is my notation for inverse functions. Okay, an inverse function is basically just a reflection of the same graph over the y equals x line, So it's a reflection over y equals x. Okay, so all of this stuff probably should whatever. Basically, you need to know you're just going to switch the x and the y coordinates. So that's really what you are looking for. So let's look at our first function. This is example 1. So f of x is equal to x squared plus 3. Okay? And whenever you see f of x, you know that f of x is just another word for y. Okay? So if we change this f of x to y, x squared plus 3. These are the exact same thing. Okay? So the question is asking me to find f to the negative 1 power of x. And what is that? Okay? So basically all you're going to do is you're going to take this equation in purple, you're going to switch the x's and the y's. So this is a y, so now it's going to switch to an x equals, this is an x, that's going to switch to a y. And everything else is going to stay the same. So we still have the squared, and then we still have the plus 3. So our last step is just to get the y by itself. So we're going to get this term y by itself, so we're going to move this plus 3, subtract 3 on both sides. X minus 3, can I do x minus 3? Can simplify it, so it's just going to be x minus 3 equals y squared. Okay? And the opposite, or to get rid of a squared, you're going to take the square root. So I have the square root of x minus 3 equals to, the squared and the square root are just going to cancel, so that is y. So that means f of negative 1, or the inverse of x, is equal to the square root of x minus 3. And this is all you are doing. And that's your answer. Okay? So let's try it again with another function. So let's call this example 2. And let's call this function g of x. And we're going to say g of x is 8x minus 3. And it's telling us to find the inverse of g. Okay? So I'm going to take my function, I'm going to switch the x's and the y's, so g of x is another word for y, so I'm going to say y is equal to 8x minus 3, and now I'm going to flip it. So this is y, now it's an x, equals 8x y minus 3. Okay? And now I'm going to get y by itself. So I got to get this term with y by itself, so I have to get minus 3, add 3, add 3. X plus 3 equals to 8y. Now to get y by itself, it's being multiplied by 8, so I divide both sides by 8. So that means this new y is x plus 3, all divided by 8. So that this is g inverse, which is x plus 3 over 8. And this is my final answer. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, it's still talking about inverses, but we have to know how to prove that two equations are inverses. Okay? And how we do that is we have to prove that f of g of x equals x and g of f of x equals x. So basically this is just function composition. So remember, another way to write f of g of x, this, you can also write it like f of g of x, and you can write this one as g of f of x. So remember, this notation means the same thing, and then this notation means the same thing. So you have to prove that both of these things equal to x in order to prove that they're inverses. So let's go ahead and look at an example, and we're going to call this one example 3. So let's prove that f of x is equal to 3 over x minus 2, and g of x, which is equal to 3 over x plus 2. So let's prove that these two equations are, in fact, inverses of each other. So in order to do that, we're first going to you can take f of g of x, or you can take this notation. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but I'm going to use the second one because it's a little more friendly for me. But it doesn't really matter. Okay? So basically what this means is we're going to take our f function, and this is our f function. So let's take f, and we're going to plug this function in to f. So we're going to take our f function, because that's the function we start with. So 3 over, instead of this x, we're going to put 3 divided x plus 2. And then we're going to have minus 2. Okay? And this may look complicated, but I promise you it's not. So let's first look at this fraction. Okay? So we're taking 3 and we're dividing it by 3 over x plus 2. And then we're going to subtract 2. Okay? So how we divide, well, this one's a fraction, and this one's not a fraction. So I'm going to make both of these fractions so I can divide them. So I have 3 over 1. And now I'm going to divide it by 3 over x plus 2 minus 2. So when we're dividing fractions, you keep the fraction on top the same, and then you're going to flip everything else. So instead of division, the opposite of division is to multiply. And then you're going to flip the fraction at the bottom. So that's x plus 2 over 3. So when you do that, you can just multiply 3 times x plus 2. 3 times x plus 2, all divided by 3 minus 2. Okay, so when you multiply by 3 and then you divide by 3, those are going to inverses, so they cancel each other out. X plus 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, so we're left with x. Okay, so we proved that f of g of x is equal to x. Sorry. So now we have to prove the opposite. Let's see if I can fit it right here on the side. We have to prove, so we proved this one is true. Now we have to prove the opposite. We have to prove g of f of x is also equal to x. So what function am I going to start with? G. And what am I plugging into g? F of x. So I'm going to start with g. So I have 3 over 3 over x minus 2. So this is what I'm plugging in. And then I have this plus 2. So this is the 3. Instead of x, I'm plugging in f of x, so that's where this f of x came from. And then I have this plus 2 here, plus 2. So I got to see if I can cancel anything out. So I have a negative 2 plus 2. So that'll go away. So I have 3 over 3 divided by x. Okay, so this is the same thing that we did before. We have a number divided by a fraction. So I'm going to take this top number, 3, and I'm going to make it a fraction. So I'm going to say 3 over 1, because 3 divided by 1, same thing as 3. Over 3 over x. So I'm still dividing fractions. I'm going to keep the fraction on the top the same. I'm going to change everything else. So instead of division, multiplication. Instead of 3 over x, I'm going to do x divided by 3. So 3 times x, 3x, 1 times 3, 3. 3x divided by 3 is 1x, or you could just say 1. Since I proved that f of g of x and g of f of x, they're both equal to x, that means that these are inverses of each other. Okay? And that's it. Now you can start on the practice.